Ninth Story Studios, giving story a voice.
Hi, this is Graham Rowett. Are you in the mood for something scary? Well, you're in the right place. This is the Wicked Library.
Warning. The Wicked Library is a horror fiction podcast created for a mature audience. Our stories contain graphic descriptions of pain, murder, violence, blood, betrayal, and inhumanity. Monsters win, people die, and hope is often shattered. There is also beauty, heart, catharsis, and raw emotion. Fear may be deeply personal, but we all share it. If at any time a story takes you to a place too dark, turn on the lights, press pause, or press stop. And always remember that, unlike in the real world, these nightmares and your participation in them are under your control. Welcome back to the Wicked Library. I'm Daniel Foytik, and I thank you for listening. A sincere thank you to those of you who are supporting the show on Patreon. Without you, this show would not be possible. Today's tale is the first special episode for Christmas. So, bundle up, gather around, and grab a cup of hot cocoa. Or eggnog, or something a little stronger. From the deep dark woods of central PA comes TWL, Man of Snow. TWL, Man of Snow. On a frosty morning, under the first thick snowfall of the season, a small town lay in serene silence. The world seemed paused, draped in white, save for the cheerful sound of children gathering in a snowy field. With giggles and chatter, they began to roll snow into boulders, piling them into the form of a snowman. Their creation took shape, a jolly figure with a round belly, button eyes that gleamed like polished obsidian, and a crooked grin. It was the happiest snowman any of them had ever made. Pride sparkled in their laughter as they stepped back to admire their masterpiece. "He needs a crown," one child exclaimed, clapping mittened hands together. "A king must have a crown," another agreed. The youngest among them, a girl with bright pigtails, dashed home and returned with a peculiar item, a tarnished magician's crown from an old costume chest she found in her attic. Strange symbols etched its surface, their meanings long lost to time. It glimmered faintly as she placed it atop the snowman's head. The instant the crown settled, the air seemed to shift. The cold bit deeper, and a deep rumble like distant thunder rolled through the silence. The snowman trembled, then let out a booming chuckle, a sound that seemed to echo from the depths of the earth. Happy, oh, fear and happy, I am born, the snowman declared, his voice both merry and unnerving, like the creak of ancient ice. The children gasped in astonishment. He's alive, one whispered, eyes wide with wonder. The snowman's eyes, now glowing with an otherworldly light, swept over the children. Yes, alive for now, he said, his tone smooth, yet edged with something unknowable. And it is you who have roused me from slumber, such clever little ones. He moved, his stiff limbs cracking and groaning as he stretched to his full height. The children cheered as he began to twirl in place, his crown tilting precariously. But his dance was not the playful jig of a snowman brought to life. His movements were jerky, unnatural, limbs flailing in ways that defied anatomy, his form twisted grotesquely, each motion a contortion, each step reverberating with an unspoken wrongness. He's so funny, one child laughed, clapping along. Yet there was something sinister in the rhythm, something deeply unsettling in the way his feet scraped the snow. His twisted performance resembled an ancient rite rather than a dance of joy. The crown atop his head pulsed faintly, its symbol shifting as if alive, glowing in sync with his unnatural movements. From a distance, wary adults observed the scene. They noted the snowman's unblinking eyes and the creeping frost that spread outward from his steps. The elder of the town, a woman whose wisdom was etched in every weathered line on her face, watched in growing dread. "Stop, children! Come away!" she cried, her voice cracking. But the children were lost in their delight, oblivious to the subtle darkening of the sky and the unnatural chill that had settled over the field. "Yes," the snowman roared, spinning faster, his body stretching and contracting with impossible elasticity. "Dance with me! Move! Feel the awakening!" The wind whipped around him, swirling snow into a vortex. The children joined hands and laughed, spinning in circles, their joy unbroken. They didn't notice the way the frost clawed up their boots, or how their breath crystallized in the air like whispers of lost souls. The snowman stopped abruptly, his grin wider, his glowing eyes fixed on the children. "Enough of this merriment. It's time for something more exhilarating." "What is it?" asked a boy, his cheeks flushed with cold and excitement. The snowman crouched low, his icy fingers leaving jagged trails in the snow. "A game," he purred. "I call it Frozen Shadows." The children exchanged eager glances. "How do we play?" "Follow the shadow," the snowman whispered, his voice carrying an almost hypnotic cadence. "It will lead you, but beware, it does not forgive missteps." With that, the dark shape began to stretch across the snow, a twisting, serpentine shadow that moved without any source of light. It slithered toward the forest, beckoning. The children ran after it without hesitation, their laughter ringing out like bells. The elder woman's face paled. "No, come back!" she screamed, but her words were swallowed by the howling wind. The snowman straightened, his grin never wavering.
"They are mine now,"
he said, his voice rich with ancient authority.
"They have entered the game."
The shadow led the children deeper into the woods, its movements chaotic yet deliberate. Their small figures disappeared among the trees, their laughter fading into an eerie stillness. The elder stumbled back, her breath misting in short gasps. She felt the creeping dread of something ancient and unknowable stirring beneath the snow. The snowman turned his hollow gaze to her, his grin impossibly wide.
"It begins,"
he said softly, with a glint of malice in his glowing eyes.
"The shadows know the way, and soon all will join the dance."
Thank you for listening to today's bonus episode. Today's author and storyteller was Daniel Foytik, performing as the Dark Voice. To find out more about the Wicked Library and other Ninth Story shows, visit thewickedlibrary.com and ninthstory.com. If you'd like to hear your own story on the Wicked Library, submissions are open for Season 13. Check our website for more details on requirements. To help keep this collection of dark tales coming, please support the Wicked Library on Patreon at patreon.com/Wicked Library. You can also help by leaving a 5-star rating and short review on Apple Podcasts. The Wicked Library is created by Ninth Story Studios, LLC. All rights reserved.